Carter, the power, Bryant. Are you gonna be okay, man?
Yeah, I hear the sirens, but I am willing to risk my existence for you. I got a solid. I I was already set up, and then I get the alert. I was like, a tornado might be coming right at me.
Did your
But
wife literally just scream? Well, I'm not.
no, dude, I am literally. I was like, well, if it was any other show, I would probably be like, nah, and I might be dying now. But for you, I'll do it because I would be going out doing what I love, which is college football YouTube. So I got a solid 10 for you. I'll do a solid 10.
A
10
solid
minutes.
10.
Got solid 10 minutes. We do 2-3 topics. Let's get to it.
Okay, well, hopefully the tornado passes over. Nobody's the wiser, and everybody's safe, and we can just continue. Carter, let's start off here. I look at what's been happening with LSU and recruiting, and I know that we've been talking a lot of recruiting, but I think it's very crucial to talk about just how good they've been at a specific area, that being the defensive line, because that might be Brian Kelly's biggest question is refixing this defense. So you go and get Damian Shanklin, Jesse Harrell, Brandon Brown, Zion Williams. Your thoughts on what's a really good haul of a high school football recruiting?
Yeah, I think Brandon Brown's the best player that they've gotten. I really do like him a lot. And then you see Zion Williams, shoot up the On3 rankings today, which is very curious, but at the same time very good, right? Overall the recruiting rankings are good. So
Right.
a top 100 recruit, a guy that's well over 300 pounds, a guy that can play that very coveted shade zero versatility technique that you could do out of a 4-man or a 3-man front. It's really exciting. And then obviously Damian Shanklin's a guy that you've been telling your audience about for quite some time. I got to meet him, talk to him at the spring game. Obviously he's from the north, from Indianapolis, outside of the footprint that, has been discussed, but he really wants to be here, right? Spring game weekend has become one of the big recruiting weekends. You can go anywhere. A lot of spring games are going on. He chose to go to LSU. So that was some signal. And then Jesse Harold, who we're still learning more about. If that's someone else you like a lot, that's really good. Just beefing up the trenches. They desperately, needed it because, all their defensive tackles and a lot of their good defensive ends are probably going to be gone next year.
Carter, what's your thoughts about them? Look, it's a big deal that him and Kevin Peoples, meaning Bo Davis and Kevin Peoples, went and got some really solid dudes in this class. How much does it speak about they went outside the state and did that? Now, I know that your state didn't produce it, but look, that has been LSU's biggest heel at times, is not being able to go out and land dudes that they're after out of state. And it's hurt them, but man, they went in there and they just took no for an answer wouldn't take no for an answer and went right after it.
Yeah, Bleak, I don't just hype up coaches just for the sake of it, but, you saw Bo Davis's power, right? A lot of both of these commitments had as much to do with Bo Davis as it did LSU. Normally it's the other way around, right? But Bo Davis, I mean, it was just ridiculous what he was able to do to bring these guys in. And hopefully the second level of the defense, Charles Ross, really good player, but now the third level of the defense will grow in recruiting as well.
I'll get to that in actually, I could get to it now, but just one more question. You talk about Brandon Brown. Is the flip from Texas a big for PR, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know you're not in PR wins, but sometimes you are. How big is it that you flip Brandon Brown from Texas?
Yeah, I really do think he's good, Blake. I never like to overhype guys, especially guys that are middle tier recruits. I really do think he's very good, very athletic. You can go to Power Hour LSU and see. I was able to rip his freshman running back highlights.
Okay.
So he's got some sick runs at running back, also at H-back.
Why does Bo Davis like guys that can play H-back? I mean, that's what Texas did last year. Like Montez, like who was the guy last year that was lined up in the backfield for him?
Byron Murphy. Yeah.
Byron Murphy. Yeah. I mean, like, dude, he likes a guy that can play running back. He's bringing in dudes in here, brother.
Yeah, Brandon Brown is he's not the biggest, he's not the absolute fastest, but he's violent. And his athleticism really pops off. So he's not going to be the highest ranked guy because he's just not the biggest guy out there. but he is a very, very, very fun watch.
6'2", 285 is not small, but
Right.
I get what you're saying there. Carter, you talked about the DB room, and your words were, hopefully we start recruiting there better. The Cade Phillips miss, man, I mean, it's just miss upon miss. I mean, you have Jabari Antoine decommit. You miss on Phillips. You know, it seems and feels like it's trending that DJ Pickett might go somewhere else. And listen, I have said I want DJ Pickett to commit to LSU. I don't want anybody misunderstanding what I'm trying to say here. But if you miss Antoine commits somewhere else, Pickett commits somewhere else, and you miss on Cade Phillips, man, are you in a bad situation?
Yeah, you're really in a tough spot. And look, there going to be some DBs that Corey Raymond and those guys are able to close on late? Yeah, I mean, it always happens.
Always happens.
I mean, DBs will see, well, there's no one else there. I might as well just go. I mean, it's LSU, right? But it's honestly not a good look. And, you know, you've been saying it, I've been saying it, taking a lot of heat for it. That's part of the, you know, being on here and not being afraid of being critical of the team that everyone loves, that watches your channel, my channel, all that. But yeah, it's just not a good look. It's not the end of the world. No one is saying it's the end of the world. It's just interesting that, you know, LSU has just been killing it at every position outside of that one. So it is interesting, but I'm not giving up hope just yet.
I'm not giving up hope because, look, DJ McKinley. Don McKinley happened last year. Gabe Rutherford happened last year. You just don't ever know what's going to happen. You can't – it's not written in stone. But the chisels are out. And you're already starting to write some of it, right? Like unless you go into the portal next year, like God forbid things stay the same, then you're going to have to destroy the portal. And that's the thing that I think that people are going to have to understand is like, look, man, it is the biggest area of concern. How anybody can sugarcoat that is quite honestly kidding themselves. Now, again, we're trying to preface this as much as we can and saying, look, this isn't over. And Corey and staff and everybody can turn it around. I pray to God that they do. I think the biggest misconception in all of this has been, Carter, why would we not want them to be doing good?
Yeah.
Like that's the stupidest thing in all of this. I want them to be doing good. Carter, we get paid when they start winning big time shit.
Right.
And so, yeah, even a financial commitment, even if you like, why would I not want them to come out here and succeed? It's the biggest lie ever.
Right. So this will be my last one. My light back here flickered to make sure I don't get blown away on camera, or it could be like that would be the most live action like YouTube thing. And you also got some super chats, Devin and Paris, especially my friend Paris I see over there. But yeah, DB development's going to be key, and there you go. I really do think I'm about to get hit by this thing right now, Blake. So if I am no longer, you got to do.
Well, I don't want you to be on here.
If I don't survive this, you got to do one stream on my Power Hour LSU to say that you're my favorite show that I would go. So, I'll see it. I will tune in as we go shelter right here. I want your thoughts on Josh Pate having LSU number 11. You probably already talked about it.
That's what I was going to bring up to you last.
But whatever, LSU, I have number 5 on my list. Check out the video, Power Hour SEC. But Blake, if I don't make it, just know that you're my dog, man. You're my dog. Huh?
Whether we go an hour, whether we go 15, 20 minutes, it's always great.